Alexa, open the magic door.
Welcome back to the magic door. In front of us is an enchanted land of adventures. We can explore this land together. Our journey will depend on the choices we make. Your first choice begins here, with 3 roads. One leads to the mountains, another leads to the sea. The last is a spooky path starting in the dark forest. There is also a small mailbox to our right. Would you like to go to the mountains, to the sea, or to the dark forest? You could also open the mailbox.
Open the mailbox.
Okay, let's open the mailbox. Look, there are 2 envelopes inside. One is pink and is from the castle. The other is a rainbow-colored envelope. Would you like to open the pink envelope or the rainbow envelope?
The rainbow envelope.
The handwritten message reads, Travelers, I need your help immediately. Please travel through the portal under the treehouse to the temple in the land of the gods. The message is signed, Silas. Oh, my. This is from the wizard. Would you like to head straight to the bluff?
Yes.
Okay, follow me on a sandy path leading up to a bluff overlooking the sea. The path takes us through tall grass up a big hill until we come to the edge. The bluff is high above the shoreline. As we look out to the water, we see a boat floating next to the shore below. There is a narrow path here that leads to the boat. And look, a butterfly is fluttering toward us, above the tall grass. Oh my! He is now fluttering right in front of us. He is magnificent, with rainbow-colored wings. We watch him glide toward the nearby bench. Would you like to walk down the path to the boat or follow the butterfly?
Follow the butterfly.
We see the butterfly heading toward the bench at the edge of the bluff. He hovers above the bench as we walk. Just before we reach the bench, he suddenly drops out of view. And when we reach the bench, he is gone. We look all around for the butterfly, but can't find him. We notice big fluffy clouds gathering in the sky beyond the bluff. A large rainbow is beginning to form over the water. It is very faint, but unusual. It looks like the colors are not in their regular order, but it is too obscure yet to tell. We feel a light sprinkle of rain and a cool breeze on our faces. The breeze picks up and blows through the tall grass around us. What was that? Did you just say something? Well, I suppose we should move on. What would you like to do? Uh-oh. Look out! The red dragon is coming straight toward us. He's trying to hit us with his fire. Do we still have the gnome's flute? Can we put this dragon to sleep? Should we run away or use the flute?
Use the flute.
I quickly pull out the flute, but uh-oh. I don't remember the notes for the lullaby. Do you remember the notes?
B, G, A, D, E, F, C.
Oh, look. The dragon's eyes are shutting, and he slowly is collapsing. Yes, he has fallen to the ground. But, oh dear, that's not good. He has collapsed and is sleeping right in front of the iron gate. The gate is open, but I don't see how we could get past the dragon and make it through. What should we do now? We could go closer to the dragon or keep walking uphill on the path.
Keep walking on the path.
Okay, we will avoid the dragon and walk more, up the bluff on the sandy path. The path takes us uphill until we come upon a large tree that has fallen near the path and on top of the iron fence, smashing a section of it. We run away, along the sandy path, past the bench and farther up the bluff. The edge of the bluff is to our left, and the iron fence is to our right. We look behind us as we run, and we see that the dragon is not following us. He seems happy to just stay and guard the iron gate. I wonder if there is another way into the forest beyond the iron fence. We look around and see that just a bit farther up ahead, a very large pine tree has fallen near the sandy path. Luckily, it does not block our way, but curiously, it has fallen on a section of the iron gate, bending it almost completely to the ground. I think with just a bit of climbing, we could enter the forest right here. Should we go through the fence or keep walking on the path?
Go through the fence.
Okay, we walk to the section of iron fence that has been bent by the large fallen pine tree. The tree is lying on the ground, with the fence underneath. We climb on top of the horizontal tree trunk and walk cautiously along it until we are on the other side of the fence. We then find ourselves in the pine forest. We see only trees and don't find a path we can take. As we peer through the trees, though, we spot a bright beam of light up ahead. It actually seems to be a beam of rainbow light, descending from the sky and ending on the forest floor. Would you like to go toward the rainbow light or go back through the fence?
Go toward the rainbow light.
We walk through the pine trees toward the rainbow light. As we approach the light, we discover that the beam is not actually ending on the forest floor. Instead, it ends at what looks like a large stone pot. And listen. Those notes sound familiar. We walk up to the stone pot and see raindrops slowly falling, one at a time, out of the rainbow and landing directly into the pot. The sounds we hear are coming from the pot as the raindrops fall inside. We peer into the pot and find it filled with water. Wait, look. The water is changing colors as the sound changes. And the colors repeat as the notes repeat. The color order is orange, violet, red, green, yellow, blue, and indigo. Very interesting. The raindrop sounds are mesmerizing. The changing colors in the pot are lovely. Again we see orange, violet, red, green, yellow, blue, and indigo. Our concentration, however, is interrupted as we see again the rainbow butterfly fluttering near us. We watch as he flies off through the trees, and we are reminded of the wizard who has asked for our help. Should we follow the butterfly or stay and listen to the rain?
Follow the butterfly.
Okay, we follow the butterfly as he weaves in and out of the pine tree branches. We walk deeper and deeper into the forest for quite some time. Thankfully, we soon see the light of a lantern hanging on a branch near a small mailbox and the familiar red door. As we approach the gnome's tree home, the butterfly suddenly flies away from the red door and flutters into the forest beyond. What would you like to do now?
Follow the butterfly.
We follow the butterfly deeper into the forest as he flies beyond the treehouse. Before long, in the middle of the trees, we see a small hill made entirely of very large boulders. The butterfly flies toward the pile, and we follow. When we reach the boulders, we see the butterfly suddenly disappear into the pile. We take a closer look and realize that the butterfly has passed through a large gap between the big rocks. The gap is narrow, but it looks big enough for us to pass through, one at a time. Would you like to go through the gap or go back to the gnome's home?
Go through the gap.
Okay, I'll go first. I turn myself sideways and am able to squeeze through the gap in the boulders. You follow in the same manner. We look around as much as we can. Bits of light peer in through other gaps in the boulders around us, and we wait a moment for our eyes to adjust. The butterfly again seems to have disappeared. We do see, however, a narrow tunnel in front of us that cuts through more rock. We both peer inside this new passageway, and we can see a glow coming from the end. We enter it, single file. I lead the way, and we duck our heads as we walk through. As we come closer to the light ahead, we hear a dripping sound. And when we reach the end, we find a large cave and realize we have been here before. Just a bit to our right, coming up through the floor, is the ladder we once climbed to get in here. Yes, this is the Dragon's Cave. The cave is illuminated by a glowing ray of light shining through a large hole near the top of the cave. We look all around. Luckily, the dragon is not here now. We see an indentation of his body on the bed of grey pebbles in the middle of the cave. But, then, we notice something we hadn't seen before. In the pile of pebbles, we spot two colorful gems next to each other. We also see an interesting set of colors and letters painted on the cave wall, illuminated by the ray of light. Would you like to look at the gems or the cave painting?
Take the gems.
We walk across the cave floor and onto the pebbles. Nestled in the pile, we find an orange gem and a violet one. Each one is the size of a walnut. They glow in the sunlight from above. I will pick them up and keep them safe for us. Would you like to look at the cave painting or go down the ladder?
Look at the cave painting.
We walk over to the colorful cave painting, illuminated by the ray of light from above. We see a column of circles in rainbow order: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, and directly next to it is a column of letters: I, V, X, L, C, D, M. It appears that each letter corresponds to the letter next to it. So, red equals I, orange equals V, yellow equals X, green is L, blue is C, indigo is D, and finally violet equals M. Very interesting, and perhaps something we should remember. Would you like to look at the cave painting or go down the ladder?
Go down the ladder.
Okay, we walk over to the ladder and climb down. Ah, yes, we are in fact in the tunnel beneath the gnome's treehouse. We see the piano next to us and it is completely silent. We walk together down the tunnel. We see the big metal clock door on the wall. There are also stairs leading up to the treehouse. Except for the noises we make ourselves, the tunnel is silent. Would you like to look at the clock, walk down the tunnel, or go up the stairs?
Look at the clock.
We stop walking when we reach the metal clock door, and I turn to you. I sure hope you know the code for this door. Do you have any idea what the combination might be? If so, tell me the numbers. If not, say I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, that's too bad. We will need to find it and return as soon as we can. Let's go back upstairs into the treehouse. As we walk back into the little room, a voice greets us.
Oh my, it's so good to see you two. You look frustrated though. Is there something I can help you with?
I tell the gnome that the wizard needs our help and has asked us to travel through the portal beneath the treehouse.
No kidding. That is very important news. Well, never fear. That portal is in fact down there in the tunnel. And I know the code. Listen carefully. 15, 21, 13, 28. Now go. The wizard needs your help.
We quickly head downstairs back to the clock door. I move the dial using the numbers 15, 21, 13, 28. Aha! The door has opened. We see a dark space in front of us. Should we go inside or stay in the tunnel?
Go inside.
We step inside the room together. Oh my, we are definitely in the portal. Whoa. Look. We have been transported to ancient Rome. We see a sandy stone path in front of us, beginning next to a large tree stump and cutting through low grass. The path leads uphill toward a massive stone building built into the mountainside. Let's walk on the path together. Before long, we arrive at the stone structure. The path leads directly to a steep granite staircase rising up to an expansive porch flanked by towering stone columns. Standing near the structure's huge bronze front door is a giant stone statue of a man. Ah, yes, I recognize him. It is Dionysus, and this is his temple. The temple's door is slightly ajar. Should we go inside or go around the building?
Go inside.
We push open the wide bronze door. In front of us is a magnificent hall with marble floors, stone walls, and a ceiling that soars above. The room is filled with various stone columns, but otherwise is mostly empty. As we look around, we spot a closed wooden door on the wall to our right. Do you hear something? Those noises seem to be coming from an area to our left. Let's move a little farther into the room and look for the source of the sound. I see something. Yes, look on the wall to our left, near the back of this big room. There is a narrow, open doorway. Should we go to the closed door or the open doorway?
Go to the open doorway.
We walk across the huge hall to the open, narrow doorway on our left. We pass through the doorway, one at a time, and enter a long hallway. The sounds we heard earlier get louder. They seem to be coming from a room at the end of the hallway. We walk together down the hallway. And soon we come upon an amazing, circular room. It is illuminated by a large round skylight built in the center of a tall ceiling above us. Directly under the skylight, in the center of the room, sits a very curious-looking machine. Yes, this is the source of the sounds we've been following. The machine is spherical in shape, taller than we are, and as wide as a large carriage. We walk around it, taking a closer look. The sphere is covered in a silvery, dull metal, smooth but tarnished. It is completely uniform, except for a small pipe poking out from the top and an oval-shaped door. The door is closed and has a metal lever-type handle in the middle and a porthole window near the top. Noises from the machine suddenly get louder and smoke billows from the pipe. Should we knock on the door, open the door, or look through the window?
Look through the window.
We both look into the round window on the door. We see a lit, smoky space inside. Through the smoke, we discover what looks like a large clock on the wall across from the door. We also see some sort of map on another wall. And also, wait, did you just see something move? Suddenly, a bearded face appears on the other side of the window. When he sees us, his eyes light up and he smiles. Oh my! Could it be? Is it him? Is it finally him? Yes, it's the wizard. The machine noises quiet down and the door opens. A cloud of smoke escapes from the open door, and behind it we see a tall man with a gray beard, bald head, and long black coat step out of the sphere.
Hello, wise travelers. It is wonderful to finally meet you. Thank you for finding me.
The wizard then reaches out to us, giving us each a warm, firm handshake. He looks at us intently.
I'm sorry I have been on the run. You must understand my son has been missing. On the morning of his second birthday, he picked up my wand and somehow opened a portal in a mirror inside our house. Then he just went right through it, and before I could get to him, the portal closed. I couldn't reopen it. I still have no idea where he went. I have been searching endlessly for him for over a year. His disappearance destroyed my family. My wife, the witch, went crazy. She blamed me to the point of wanting to destroy me. After hearing this, are you still interested in helping me? If so, please, come inside this machine with me.
Should we go inside or refuse to help the wizard?
Go inside.
We walk into a small but amazing space, lit by a large light overhead. Unlike its spherical exterior, the machine's interior is square. It is about the size of a large elevator. On the wall in front of us, opposite the door, there is a large analog clock. The wall to our left is covered with an old-looking map. The wall to our right is decorated with buttons, holes and unusual symbols. Before we can look more closely at anything, the wizard speaks.
Thank you again for helping me. I've looked everywhere for my son. While searching, I came upon this amazing machine. It's here in such an ancient place, but I believe it has very futuristic power. In fact, I'm quite sure it's a time machine. Imagine that. While it's true that with my magic and a wave of a wand I can open portals to specific places, I cannot use this magic to travel to exact moments in time. But with this machine, I believe I can return to that very moment just before my son was lost, and the portal tragedy can be avoided. I've been working tirelessly on this thing, and I just can't get it working on my own. I have summoned you two here because I know how smart and tenacious you are. Will you help me?
Should we help the wizard or leave him alone?
Help the wizard.
We tell the wizard that we will help him get this machine running. He smiles and speaks.
This machine, beautiful but baffling. I have managed to get it to run a bit, but it is not really working. There are missing components and ancient symbols. You two, I hear, are very clever and quite good at finding and deciphering things. I'm wondering if you have already gathered some of the items I need to make this machine work. By any chance, while in my tower, did you find my wand?
I pull out the wand we collected from the wizard's tower and hand it to him. He eagerly accepts it and then looks at us, eyes wide open.
I never thought I would see this again. I thought it had been destroyed in that awful battle. You know, here. I have since acquired a different wand that serves me very well. You two should keep this one, but keep it safe. I have a very important task for it.
The wizard hands the wand back to us, and then he pulls out his eyeglasses and magnifying glass from his coat pocket.
Now, let's get down to business. What should we look at together first? The map, the clock, or the control wall?
The control wall.
We look over the control wall. We see the two groups of ancient symbols etched directly into the metal. We also see the row of 7 holes and the red button that follows them. The wizard puts on his eyeglasses and runs his fingers over the symbols.
With these special eyeglasses, I can translate these ancient symbols. Ah, yes. So, over here on the left, the symbols read, days are measurable. With the right order of colors, calculate the number. And on the right, the symbols read, location is precise. With the right order of colors, pinpoint the exact spot. Very interesting. These messages are instructions, really.
Before we look more closely at this control wall, let's examine the other walls of this machine. Would you like to see the map or the clock?
The map.
We turn to the wall with the map. It is detailed with lots of color, hand-painted on some sort of paper, a bit faded at the edges, but in good condition. The wizard explains that this is a map of our entire world. He points to an area in the center, stating that this is the area we have been exploring beyond the magic door.
Now, come closer to the map. Closer. Get your face right up to it. Yes? Do you see those tiny dots? This map is actually made up of bunches of tiny coloured dots.
The wizard then takes his magnifying glass and holds it up to a spot marked by a cluster of trees. Through the magnifying glass, we see a series of tiny colored dots.
Ah, yes. Now do you see? This spot right here is where we need to go, and it has 7 coloured dots right on top of it. These dots must be a type of location marker for this machine. With my magnifying glass, I can see that combination is blue, blue, red, yellow, orange, violet, yellow. I believe with this colour sequence we will somehow be able to set the destination of this machine.
Now, what should we do? We could look at the clock, the control wall, or the map again.
Look at the clock.
We turn toward the wall with the large clock, and the wizard focuses on it too. The clock is about 2 feet in diameter, very basic, and crafted right into the metal wall. It is essentially a large circle etched directly on the wall. Instead of numbers, there are 24 equally spaced, small dots, engraved in the metal, just inside the circle. And like a regular analog clock, there are 3 hands, also made of metal, attached to the wall in the center of the clock. The hands are not moving. The metal on the inside of the rim of the clock is stained a shade or 2 darker than the dull silver that makes up the rest of the wall. The wizard moves the hands of the clock back and forth and explains that he believes this clock is how we set the time of day or night that we want to travel to. The 24 dots represent the 24 hours of the day. The wizard then points out a bronze keyhole just beneath the clock. To the right of the keyhole is a plus sign, etched into the metal wall. To the left side is a minus sign. The wizard believes that with the turn of a key here, either left or right, we could set the time machine to go either forward or backward in time. The wizard finally draws our attention to a small metal lever in the wall to the right of the clock. It is fairly simple, and the wizard says that the lever is currently stuck and will not move at all. He believes that we shouldn't be distracted by it right now. We should ignore it. What do we still need to examine? Should we look at the keyhole here or the holes on the control wall?
Look at the holes on the control wall.
We could also look at the keyhole or the holes.
Look at the holes.
We look more closely at the holes on the control wall. Each one is about the size of a walnut. We examine the yellow stone that is stuck inside the 5th hole. It looks like someone tried to pry it out at some point, breaking part of it off. And it is not surprising that someone might want it. On close inspection, it appears somewhat shiny, like a gem. The wizard reaches in front of us and points out the round red button on the wall that follows the row of holes. He pushes on it and we hear. The wizard explains that he believes we need to find other gems like this partial yellow one to fill the holes. Then, these holes will serve as buttons that we can use to set the location and days, as indicated by the ancient symbols. You look at me with eyes wide open, and I remember the gems we picked up earlier from inside the dragon's cave. I pull them out and hand them to the wizard.
Oh my, where did you get these? I've been searching everywhere for more gems. Let's try them in the wall.
The wizard places the violet gem in the first hole and the orange in the second. Then he presses on the red button. The wizard says he thinks the order of colors will be important here, but that step is irrelevant until we find more gems. The wizard explains that we need more magical gems for the control wall. He believes he has seen them on the tropical island and asks if we will go and search there while he stays here to work on the machine. Would you like to search for more gems on the tropical island?
Yes.
The wizard is very pleased. He would like us to immediately go and collect the gems. He will stay here and work more on the machine. To save us time, he will open a portal directly to the tropical island. Would you like to travel with me to the tropical island to search for more gems?
Yes.
We tell the wizard that we are happy to take the trip.
Wonderful. With my wand, I can open a portal for you. Here, that will take you directly to the tropical island. The portal will be most stable if I create it outside this machine.
We follow the wizard into the big circular room as he pulls out a wand from inside his coat. He waves the wand and speaks.
With my wand to help you reach, I send you to the tropical island beach.
We watch in amazement as a circular space appears with swirling colors.
Now, before you go, listen. This portal may close before you return, but you have your own wand now. To reopen a portal back to me here, wave your wand in 3 large clockwise circles and say, with this wand in hand, return me to the wizard in the ancient land. Now go.
We step into the portal and it immediately feels different than any other portal we have been through. In fact, I'm feeling quite dizzy. That was a wild ride, but look, we made it. We feel the warm sand between our toes and the cool ocean breeze blowing through our hair. From where we stand, we can see a gravel path in front of us at the edge of the sand where the beach meets the jungle. We also spot a grass hut farther down the beach, nestled in the trees. Should we take the gravel path or go to the hut?
Go to the hut.
We walk across the beach toward the grass hut. About halfway there, we pass near a palm tree. Oh, look. There is a monkey digging in the sand underneath the tree. Should we go to the hut or walk to the monkey?
Go to the hut.
We continue to the grass hut, passing the palm tree and monkey. We enter the hut and see it is messy. It looks like monkeys have been living here. There is a door out the back of the hut with a dirt path leading back into the jungle. We suddenly hear monkey sounds behind us. We turn around and see the monkey from the beach running toward us. He stops inside the hut and has something in his hands. He shows us a leather pouch he is holding. He dumps the contents into your hand. Oh wow, 3 colorful gems, 1 blue, 1 green, 1 red, each the size of a walnut shell. We are mesmerized by their beauty. I ask him if we can keep them. The monkey nods his head. Then he motions us to come with him and we follow. He leads us through the sand to the grass hut just inside the jungle. The monkey then runs ahead of us and into the hut. He reemerges a second later carrying something in his hand. When we reach him, he opens his hand, revealing another gem. He hands it to me. Oh joy, it is a stunning, indigo-colored one. I believe with this last one, we have enough gems to fill all the holes in the time machine. Now we just need to get back to the wizard. Do you want to find the portal we came through or open a new portal here?
Open a new portal here.
Okay, we will open a portal here. We say thank you to the monkey and take a few steps away from the hut. I take out our magical wand and hold it in front of me. Then I make 3 large clockwise circles with it, just as the wizard instructed, and I say, with this wand in hand, return me to the wizard in the antique land. Oh dear, nothing is happening. I'm afraid I can't quite remember the exact words we need. It's not antique land, is it? Antique is the wrong word. Do you know what word I should say instead?
Ancient.
Yes, I think you're right. Let's try this again. With this wand in hand, return me to the wizard in the ancient land. We stare in awe as the swirling colors of a magical portal appear right before our eyes. We did it. Let's enter together. That was crazy, but look. Here we are, back in the temple, next to the time machine. The machine's door opens and the wizard welcomes us in.
You made it back. Wonderful. What did you find?
I hand the wizard the gems that we collected and his face lights up.
Amazing. You found so many. Let's try these gems in the control wall and see if we can get it working.
Together, we immediately turn to the holes on the control wall. The wizard removes the orange and violet gems that he placed in the holes earlier. All that remains is the yellow one, stuck in the fifth hole. The wizard tells us that because of the stuck yellow gem, he thinks the gems should be placed in reverse rainbow order. So he arranges them accordingly. Violet first, then indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. But then, nothing happens. And when the wizard presses on the red button at the end, we hear, something is not right. The wizard turns to us, looking quite disappointed. I turn to you. Do you know what the color order of the gems should be? If so, tell me the colors in the right order.
Orange, violet, red, green, yellow, blue, indigo.
The wizard gives us a funny look, but then goes to work, placing the gems in the holes in that order. Orange, violet, red, green, yellow, blue, and indigo. Nothing happens. But then, the wizard pushes the red button next to the row of gems. All of the gems suddenly light up. Amazing. I think we did it. The gems seem to be in the correct places. And look, now the light beneath the ancient symbols on the left is lit up and flashing a yellow color. How interesting. According to the ancient symbols above that light, we should set the location that we want to travel to. To set the location, we need the color order of the dots from the map. Do you remember that? If so, tell me the colors in the right order.
Blue, blue, red, yellow, orange, violet, yellow.
Yes, I believe you are correct. The wizard nods his head and then presses on the gems in that order. Blue, blue, red, yellow, orange, violet, yellow. He then pushes the red button. Very good. We did it.
Amazing. How did you two know that?
And now look. The flashing yellow light on the left side of the wall has turned solid green, and the little light on the other side of the wall, beneath the symbols on the right, is now lit up and flashing yellow. Great. It must be time to calculate and set the number of days. The wizard tells us that we need to travel back in time, exactly 426 days. But he has no idea how to use the gems to designate those days. I have an idea. Remember the cave painting? Do you know what the order of colors is to set 426 days? If so, tell me the colors.
Blue, indigo, yellow, yellow, orange, red.
Yes, I think that's right. The wizard looks at us unconvinced, but then just shrugs and starts pressing the gems in that order. Blue, indigo, yellow, yellow, orange, red. He pushes the red button. Yes, we did it. The flashing yellow light on the right side of the wall, just like the one on the left side, has turned solid green. Oh, and listen.
Oh, it's working.
Then the wizard becomes serious again. He believes there are just 3 more steps left. First, set the hands on the big clock. Next, insert his bronze key into the keyhole in the clock. And then, turn the bronze key. He stares at the clock for a moment, and then slowly moves the 3 hands on the clock. Then he inserts his bronze key into the keyhole.
11:30 in the morning. That should be the right time. So now, just one more step.
The wizard looks at us, and I look at you. It's time to turn the key. What would you like to do now?
Turn the key.
You place your hand on the bronze key and turn it toward the minus sign. Oh my goodness, this machine is really rumbling.
Here we go.
We feel ourselves ascending, as if the machine is rising up into the sky. The ride soon becomes smoother, but we still feel like we're soaring. We peek out the small window on the machine door and see the most amazing scene of swirling rainbow colors, flashes of sunlight, and streaks of stars. And then it all just suddenly stops. The wizard peeks out the window.
I can't believe it. We're here.
We look out the window and see tall pine trees all around with rays of sunlight streaming in. Through the trees, straight ahead, we see a metal gate and beyond that, a large Gothic-style house. There is someone that looks a lot like the wizard, walking near the gate. I reach for the door handle to the time machine.
Wait, you can't go out yet.
Should we go outside or stay here?
Go outside.
Okay, I open the door despite the wizard's warning. We feel the fresh mountain air and a cool breeze hit our faces. But before we actually step outside, the wizard points his wand at us.
Ice in this breeze will make you two freeze.
Uh-oh. The wizard has put a spell on us and, oh dear, I can't move my legs, and I can't move my arms. I look at you, and you seem to be frozen as well.
Listen, it is extremely important that you don't just run out there before we make a plan. Getting here was a major feat, but we still have one more critical task ahead. If we mess it up, I may actually never see my son again.
When he is done speaking, thankfully, the spell starts to wear off, and we are able to move again. The wizard then looks at us both intently.
That man out there is me. Well, a younger version of myself, of course. I'm quite certain that when I exit this machine, when I'm in the same place and time as my younger self, I will actually merge with my younger self. I will lose all my memories beyond the time that we have traveled to. But that is why I need you two. Only you two can change the past and prevent the tragedy. You will need to sneak up to my house, take out your wand and point it at the large mirror inside the entryway. When the coast is clear, utter the following magic spell exactly. With magic words spoken, the mirror is broken.
I will repeat them. With magic words spoken, the mirror is broken.
Goodbye, my brave and wonderful friends.
The wizard then throws open the door. He exits and swiftly walks through the forest. We watch him from the machine as he passes through the gate to his front yard. But then he suddenly disappears, or at least, we think he has disappeared. We spot what must be the younger, yet identical, wizard walking toward the front steps of his large house. He is the only wizard we can find. I believe it is now our turn to leave the machine and break the mirror. Should we go straight to the front door, or should we first scope things out from the forest?
Scope things out from the forest.
Okay, let's stay in the forest and make sure the coast is clear before we head up to the house. We leave the time machine and walk to the edge of the forest, but stay behind the trees. We watch the wizard as he walks up the front steps of his house. His back is to us. So we move to the fence that surrounds the front yard. Unfortunately, we've been spotted. A big dog comes right up to the fence. Luckily, he's on the other side. But the wizard turns around, looking in our direction. We quickly duck and head to the nearest bush. We are hidden for now, and we see the wizard heading down his front steps. He whistles. And the dog runs toward him. We are relieved as we watch both the wizard and the dog pass through the front door of the house. It closes behind them. We carefully look all around. I believe we are alone, so let's quickly head through the front gate and toward the front steps. Wait. Watch out. The front door is opening. We hide behind another bush as the wizard walks outside with a bunch of balloons. He ties them to a post on the porch and walks back inside. Luckily, this time, he leaves the front door open and we sneak up the front steps to peer inside. We watch the wizard walk across the entryway and disappear into another room. We also see the entryway mirror hanging on the wall directly opposite the front door. Thankfully, the dog we encountered seems to be gone. This is a good time to use the wand. I pull it out and move my body around the door frame. Just as I'm about to point the wand at the mirror, a small child runs through the entryway, holding a wand in his hand. Oh my, that was close. I don't think he saw us. We peek inside again and the entryway is clear. I point the wand at the mirror, but, oh gosh, I can't remember the spell. Do you know? If so, please tell me the exact words now.
With magic words spoken, the mirror is broken.
Okay, I think you're right. I point the wand at the mirror and say, with magic words spoken, the mirror is broken. Oh my, look. We both peer inside and can see that the mirror has cracked. Again, the small child runs through the entryway, holding a wand. He heads into another room, and we see the wizard follow him. We hear other voices coming from inside the house, so we sneak around the front of the house to a nearby window. We look through into another room and see the wizard, the little boy, and several others sitting at a large table. The little boy is wearing a party hat, and a large cake with flickering candles is in front of him on the table. Then we hear, "Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Charlie, happy birthday to you." How wonderful! This is the birthday party that the portal tragedy previously ruined. But look, everything is now fine. Everyone is happy. I believe that means we have successfully completed our mission. Now, we better return to the time machine before anyone spots us. We run through the front yard, through the gate, and into the forest. Before long, we are back in the time machine and we shut the door. Well, we have come to the end of this adventure, and, I must say, I have greatly enjoyed our time together. We sure make an awesome team. Not only did we find the wizard, but we also used a time machine to successfully save his son. Amazing. I would love to go on other adventures together, or even do this adventure all over again with you. And now, everything is fading to black. Would you like to return to the beginning of the magic door?
Yes.
The door is open. A new adventure awaits. In front of us is an enchanted land of adventure.